Greetings, everybody. My name is Xavier Avila, and I'm here to talk about the downfall of Generation Z. What is Generation Z? So, Generation Z is the people who were born in the years 1995 all the way through 2009. The factors, and you might be asking what exactly is causing the downfall of Generation Z, and that would be substance abuse and usage, the idea of self-harm and suicide, the influence of social media, and the endurance of trauma. Whether, and this can happen whether you're young or, a little into adulthood. It's for both, any category. So what exactly is it causing? The use of substances is causing, or these factors are causing depression and anxiety. It's causing us to be distracted, lazy, susceptible to a lot of bad things. It's causing a sense of selfishness as well, and overall making us undisciplined. So, so the top three substances that Generation Z abuses would be cocaine, something that derives from the cocoa plant leaf, or is it's a stimulant that can also be created synthetically, and marijuana, which is a leaf of dried resin, and it's flower buds and leaves of a female hemp of the cannabis plant, and when ingested, it creates a high effect. And benzos, which is a class of tranquilizers actually, and they actually are used for people with anxiety, patients, of course. So marijuana was actually docked at 13.3 million users. The ages were 18 to 22. We were the highest group for, no pun intended, the highest group of the highest prevalence. And among the 5 year groups, same with benzos, we came in higher than the other 5 year groupings. They targeted ages 21 to 25, as well with cocaine, 21 to 25, and we happen to surpass all the 5 year groupings. So these are the top three substances that are being used a lot by our generation. So the effects that it's causing and the side effects of substance abuse is actually done a lot. Youth and Substance Abuse and Co-occurring Disorders by Aoife Kamina. She states that the interaction between multiple drugs can increase neurological, sociological, and psychological impact on the user. And it's could also increase the negative consequences of polydrug abuse. Polydrug abuse would be when you stack drugs on top of each other and use them in one sitting. So the another thing that happens according to the National Library of Medicine is that the prefrontal cortex, the front part of our brain, doesn't fully develop until we're 25 years old. So the idea is that if you're abusing drugs before 25, your prefrontal cortex gets affected and can lead you to develop a psychiatric disorder. So having older figures in your life is also another thing. It's a social aspect, the social aspect of a substance abuse disorder, peer pressure, and, people are older, they make, older decisions, you can say, and that can influence someone that you look, especially someone you look up to. It could influence the individual to begin substance abuse. And there's many things that play a part. It's the psychological, the neurological, the social aspect, the hormonal aspect. An upsurge in gonadal hormones can actually cause the individual to begin substance abuse, and the cortisol hormone, which would be the stress hormone, that would also increase the chances of starting a substance abuse disorder, or in other words, an SUD. This is a really big statement right here because according to the Public Library of Science, suicide is actually the second leading cause of death among young people worldwide, and that's not good. And that's a lot of people who are dying by their own hand, and that can never be a good thing. So the things that are actually causing people to commit suicide, which would be death caused by injuring oneself with the intent to die, or a mixture of these four: trauma, humiliation, shame, and having a sense of a weak mind. Someone with trauma, it can cause them to feel fragile and not okay. Humiliation is never fun to endure, and having a weak mind, and the opposite of a weak mind would be, having some mental fortitude That's defined as a strength of the mind that enables a person to encounter danger or to bear pain or adversity with courage to it or behind it. And these are, a strong mind would be needed in order to overcome these trauma, humiliation, and shame. So humiliation would be a feeling of defeat. It can be caused by others, or it can be caused by oneself. Actually, it goes both ways. The the study that was done by Sadith Anwar in the Public Library of Science, the article called "Associations Between Humiliation, Self-Harm, and Suicidality." They conducted 33 studies and they were all pretty much linked to humiliation and suicide. That means, and they found that 67% of those adolescents actually had psychological mistreatment at one point in their life. So people can actually end up losing their sense of resilience, prosperity, courage, and confidence. Resilience would mean the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. Courage, meaning the ability to do something that frightens or intimidates you. Prosperity would be the idea and condition of being successful or thriving for something. And confidence is just the comfortability that one has with their own abilities or their qualities, and it just self assurance more than anything. Social media is a really big one. Social media has caused people to have less intimacy, chase temporary pleasures, and overall the communication is dying out because of social media. As you can see on this picture, people are just nose deep in their phone. A study done by Stanford University was actually found out that 39% of male-female relationships start online. That would mean that 3.8 billion people make a connection with someone and actually like end up liking them before they even meet them in real life. And because of that, people end up in abusive relationships. That's 1 in 3 women, according to the statistics of the university uh, research. And there here is, the top one of the top ones, lust and social media. So there's obviously there's obviously always been some pornography back then. There was magazines, tapes, physical copies of pornography, and back then, and now with the click of a button, you have the world at your fingertips. You can see millions of videos and pictures and sex chat rooms, and you name it. So according to the article Fight the New Drug, how pornography has changed in the last 10 years, it shows us how drastically the adult industry has changed and how easy it is to access it now. Back then in the early 2000s, according to this article, people would normally be on a stationary desktop and access pornography and then chase the lust that way. Now you can do it anywhere. You can do it at your house, the comfort of your own home, the comfort of your car, even. People would, lust in very strange places, to each their own. And since the drop of the first iPhone, like it says here, pornography has skyrocketed since then. It started with only a very popular website called Pornhub, started with only 100,000 videos. And I say only because now it's a 2018, and that's that's 6 years ago. 5 million videos are accessible now. That's over 115 years of video. You would have to watch those videos for the rest of your life and a few decades in your afterlife trying to catch up. Another big website would be OnlyFans. I'm not sure if anyone has heard of it. I'm sure many of you have, especially if you're from my generation. This was founded in 2016 and it blew up during COVID. The users are 170 million and 70% of them are women, the other 30 being men. So this website allows the founders made it to where the creators and the users of the app can set their own rates, upload their own content, and overall just it's a very it's very personal now and it's one-sided. You don't have to see them in person. You can just watch their videos, whoever you're watching, and it's causing a lot of communication to die out, and it's not good. Many people said that in the article that with Fight the New Drug, people said that they've been watching porn since they were 12, and other participants said that pornography made them feel bad, and others actually said that it taught them how to make love and how to have sex and ideas of sex and how to treat women even. So there's different ideas regarding this topic, but The founding four or the Fantastic Four, I would call it, is substance abuse, self-harm, and suicide, social media, and trauma. Generation Z is being dragged by these four, and it's very detrimental. They're my works cited, and I thank everyone for watching my video, my presentation.